Hi, thank you for your question. So, for anyone who's new, my name's MJ. I'm a trans man. I transitioned about 10 years ago. I was on hormones for 3 years. I had top surgery. But the reason I stopped testosterone about 3 years in is because it started impacting my liver, and I ended up detransitioning for a short period. Yes, even with the king tattoo on my neck. It only lasted a month and a half. I ended up retransitioning. I've been like this for 7 years. I consider myself male now. Not everybody does. It is what it is. So because I live without testosterone now and I present as male, a lot of people wonder like, well, why back then did you detransition and take it all the way? Like, why couldn't you just live as male like you do now without hormones? And the truth is I could have absolutely done that, but I was scared shitless. This is what I looked like when I found out I had to go off testosterone. I put a lot of effort into passing as male. I grew what little facial hair I did have out. I would dye it, accentuate it. And I'm Irish, and I always joke that there's like two types of Irish dudes. Like, there's ones like me who look like naked mole rats, but we can grow a great head of hair. I'm bald, but I can grow very thick hair. And then there's ones that are like bald, but have these amazing ginger beards. So for me, the small amount of facial hair I did grow, like, it meant the world to me. It took so long. And it was my key to passing, because even now, I would say like 70% of the time I get gendered as female instead of male. I just don't have it in me to go through all that work for a neck beard. Maybe one day. Anyways, I was so scared because like there wasn't a lot of information on like what I should expect like going off testosterone. Like I know it probably varies from person to person, but anytime I would look up like trans man stopping testosterone, like there was what, maybe like 2 Reddit threads on it or something. And this was like over 7 years ago. I literally felt on edge 24/7. I was terrified. I was scared like day by day my changes were gonna revert. And back then that was really scary to me. Not just because I had just finally like experienced the freedom of living like who I authentically felt like and being recognized as such, but also because I live in rural New Hampshire. It's getting better, but historically, they have not always been kind to LGBT people here, and so that was really scary to me. I knew from early on in my transition when I didn't pass well as male, that like there was the potential to be harassed, to be in really shitty situations, and I was nervous about that. I don't have to worry about that as much now. Like I said, like everything is kind of progressing. For instance, there's like I think one church in my town, and they put up like a gay pride flag, and then a church down the street in the town over has a trans one too. I mean, that's amazing. But this was then, so I was nervous. I was like, what's life gonna be like? Am I gonna go out with my kid and be harassed over dumb shit? Like, how is this gonna be day to day? Like, I need to be able to function. And so I made a decision, and it was a rash decision, but I understand why I made it. I decided that I was going to present feminine. I always say it was like ripping a band-aid off. I didn't have to, worry about, oh my God, am I gonna look in the mirror and this is gonna revert? Like, what am I gonna look like tomorrow? I could just, boom, get it over with. I knew that this was gonna impact my mental health, but I already had a support team in place. So I knew when gender dysphoria did occur for me detransitioning, I had a clinical team already set up that could help me with it. In my head, that sounded a lot better than having to go through life not knowing what I was gonna look like from day to day, watching my freedom just dwindle bit by bit. And then on top of it, like just living day to day, having to worry about people being ridiculous in public and shit. So to me, it sounded like the best decision. I think at the time it was. I think in that moment, I did make the best decision I could have made. But it wasn't without difficulty, obviously. I was with my husband. He was my boyfriend at the time. He's my husband now. And he stuck with me through it. But it was hard because I was insecure. Like, I felt really vulnerable. I didn't feel like myself. It only lasted, like I said, a month and a half, and I retransitioned, and I've kind of just been here ever since. Even though it was a rough time, I'm very, very proud of myself for what I did then to completely change how you look pretty much overnight and to face the world, and knowing they're gonna not just judge you as a person but as a parent, and to do what you need to do just to get by to be a parent. It was hard, but I did it, and I'd do it again if I had to. So for that, I'm proud.